Hello everyone. Today we are going to dive in the realm of wealth and asset management, which is exceptionally intriguing because it is a very challenging and difficult area to manage. Wealth creation is only the first step. Managing and preserving the wealth needs a different level of expertise altogether. In India, where asset under management stands at approximately $1.2 trillion and are growing rapidly, the stakes are extremely high. Guiding us through the fascinating landscape is Mr. Tariq Aboobekar, who's the CEO of Neo Trusteeship Services, a core division of Neo Wealth and Asset Management that started in 2021. Neo Trusteeship Services specializes in servicing the complex needs of high net worth individuals, leveraging a team of seasoned wealth managers. Currently, the company manages an impressive 40,000 crores in wealth and assets valued at over 8,600 crore rupees. Welcome to the show, Mr. Aboobekar. It is a pleasure to have you today. Could you start by explaining the nuances of estate planning and why is it crucial to start early, especially for business families?
Estate planning as a definition, it's a very wide term. Okay, while you have over a period of time accumulated your wealth, over a period of time, all of us are perishable commodities. Sooner or later, we will need to pass on our legacies to the next generation.
Right.
So the better we plan, the faster we plan, makes it simple and easier for the next generation to inherit those assets. It helps you in preserving and consolidating your wealth, and also helps you in terms of identifying which part of your wealth will get distributed to which family member.
Okay.
Gives in a lot more clarity to the family. At any point of time, it avoids any kind of misunderstandings or uncertainties within the family, and just makes things much more streamlined and simple.
So, how does trusteeship helps an HNI family to secure their legacy in the long term?
Okay, so when you look at estate planning on a whole, trusteeship is one of the important and crucial part of estate planning.
Okay.
But if you look at products or means or tools that are available to plan your succession.
Right.
So there are four different ways one could plan their succession. The first one is natural succession,
Right.
which means that if you are deceased intestate, the assets would get passed on to your legal heirs as per the religion that you follow.
Right.
So commonly in a Hindu family, assets will be equally distributed to all legal heirs.
Right.
At the same time, an equal distribution could lead to confusion.
Right.
You have one house, what do you expect? Two children to start living in the same house. You expect one to pay rent to the other. So what do you mean by equal? Or we should sell the property and distribute the wealth?
Right.
Because you've not clarified how you want to go about it. So it leads to a lot of interpretation of your next legacy or your next generation. To make that more simple and straightforward, you can document your wishes in form of a will.
Right.
A will is a static document
Right.
that comes in play on the demise of an individual. It carries your wishes of how your assets will be distributed to your legal heirs.
Right.
Similarly, a will in states like Maharashtra, Bombay specifically, it needs to be probated.
Okay.
Probating a will is a long activity. It's a tedious activity. A will can also be contested.
Okay.
Say if one of your family members doesn't feel right that he's not been given enough or he's not been distributed correctly, he has the right to contest the will. And then that gets into unnecessary long-run legal battle. So due to which a lot of families prefer to see alternate modes of succession. One of the most commonly preferred and used today is a trust. A trust is a living body that runs parallelly with you for the benefit of yourself during your lifetime and for the benefit of your legal heirs after you. Like in a will, assets change hands. In a trust, assets remain in the trust for the benefit of the beneficiaries, and the underlying beneficiaries keep changing.
What would you say, how do the trustees manage the complex family dynamics, especially in a country like India, where families are very wide and very big? So how do you manage the...
So once you have clarity in terms of ownership, once you have clarity in terms of beneficial interests, a lot of things automatically get streamlined.
Okay.
If the patriarch is there and he has been guided correctly and he has taken corrective measures, then the entire family dispute can be avoided.
Okay.
Things become much easier because he's there today to explain what his wishes are, to express what his desires are. So there's very little left for interpretation of the legal airs. So once you have clarity which is defined today, things become much easier.
Okay.
Complexities will increase when there's uncertainty. Complexities will increase when there is difference of opinion, too many heads trying to take decisions on behalf of the family, ego clashes.
Yeah.
So that's where things get even more difficult.
Right.
But if you have the right approach taken from day one,
Right.
you can definitely avoid a far more bigger issue to be coming in the future.
So, in your experience, do you see these HNIs and the members of the family who are at the helm and who basically have everything in their names? Do they actively decide on whether they want to have? I mean, do they make the decision about what succession planning needs to be, or do they need advice from you on how it should be planned?
There is a very big difference between emotion and practical.
Yeah.
Okay, today you are asking somebody to decide his lifetime earnings of how he's going to pass it on or how he's going to give it away. So those are questions which are not very easy to answer.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes, or a lot of times, people take time to be able to decide on how to distribute this portion of the wealth,
Right.
how to distribute the businesses, who amongst the family will take charge of the business. My elder son's already joined the business. My younger son's not a part of the business. My daughter is partially involved in the business. Should she get equity? Should the elder one, because who's running the main core business, should get the larger pie of the equity? So these are not easy decisions which can be done over one sitting.
Right.
There's a lot of thought that goes in. Sometimes the senior members decide things on their own,
Right.
that this is how they want it.
Right. Right.
Sometimes families prefer to have a gathering and take everybody's interests into account and form a family constitution, or a proper thought process is put in to form in terms of how the legacies will get passed on. So there's different ways, different means, and the expertise come in where you get the blend of emotion and practical, legal, tax, everything put together to bring out the right output for the clients.
Right. So, as an expert, how do you balance emotional attachment with practicality when it comes to, the estate planning and succession plans?
So that's where we've learned over a period of time
Right.
in terms of what a family needs
Right.
versus what a senior member of the family wants
Yeah.
versus what is legally possible
Okay.
versus what is practically doable
Right.
versus what is the most tax effective, tax efficient manner of doing certain things.
Right.
So that's where a combination of, we can't ignore emotions here.
In terms of, how to make money also, and how do they want to, use that money and, build wealth out of it. What is the differential approach that you guys build for, let's say, a new money 20-something founder as compared to someone who's in their 70s trying to build a succession plan?
So there are different, so for example, if I am in a retirement stage,
Yeah.
the important things for me would be how my next gen is going to infuse into the business, how my next gen is going to take the legacy forward, versus someone who's in the early 30s, early 40s, made a lot of money. I'm taking much higher risk now. How do I preserve what I've already made?
Right.
If I'm going for an IPO, what are the precautions or thoughts I have to put in before going for an IPO? Or if I'm trying to migrate and I'm going to become a US citizen over a period of time, what are the things that I need to do so that I don't get impacted with this move? So there are different needs completely, and there are different solutions depending on the actual need of the families. Also, on the other side, if someone's in the early 40s, late 30s, you're talking about minor children. How will they be taken into consideration if something happens to them? You're talking about suddenly too much of wealth falling into the hands of the child who's probably 20, 21, cannot handle that kind of money.
Yeah.
So what are the ideas and thoughts to ring fence and protect that piece of the family?
Right.
Versus someone who's 70, where the children are already into the business. They're already sharing the same board seats. So the planning and the thought processes and the requirements are very different from both spectrums.
Do you feel that the new money people, do they want to have more overseas wealth and overseas fund built in the long term as compared to the legacy founders? Is that something that you guys are...
See, everybody wants diversification.
Right.
So the newer generations are more open to ideas.
Right.
They're more open to different kind of creativities.
Right.
They've also been overseas themselves. So a lot of the young generation today has gone overseas for education. They've seen the life there.
Yeah.
So they're more familiar with international trends, international markets. They've brought in a lot with them back, try to replicate it in their businesses here. So they're more open to ideas. They're more open to looking at options globally. It does not mean that the older generation is not open to it. But I guess the newer generation has a little different risk appetite.
Right.
Or has more exposure than the previous generations because of the internet and various other means, and the world's becoming more and more smaller.
Right.
So that obviously gives in a lot more reason why one gets to look at diversification.
Right.
Also, the style of businesses are very different.
Right.
The legacy businesses were more brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So for them to move, for them to diversify, for them to look at outside, things are a little more different. Versus now I am doing a business which is more on the net.
Yeah.
I have clients which are global.
Yeah.
So the style of businesses and the theme of businesses have also
Right.
changed a lot.
Right. And are you seeing more people opting to maybe reside in the long term abroad or stay back in India?
A mix.
A mix, okay.
I mean,
is there a growing change in any of the...
We've seen a lot of people wanting to look at alternate domain for investments.
Okay.
Some purely from a diversification point of view. Some from a point of view that my children may eventually go overseas. So there's a mixed bag of clientele which are looking at different spaces.
Okay. And as a first generation entrepreneur, how does one balance, the need for scaling their business at this point and building wealth for the long term?
According to me, both are the same.
Okay. Yeah.
If I am scaling my business, I am building wealth.
Right.
So,
But that could also mean that you'll have lesser resources at disposal.
Not really, because if I am in the earlier days, most of the people reinvested their money in their own businesses.
Right.
Because that's where they felt that they could generate more returns.
Right.
Today, people are looking at alternate avenues of investments.
Right.
Like I could do a stock market investment, I could do a stock pick, I could do a mutual fund, I could do something else, and I could also reinvest the money in my business. So the options of investments have opened up. You've got far more options to now pick and choose from. So some people would still prefer to do the traditional style of investing all their money back into their own business.
Right.
Some people will still say that let me diversify and not have all my eggs in one basket.
Right.
So it varies.
But there should be both approaches should be followed at the same time.
Ideally diversification is the key.
Right.
You need to diversify, you need to hedge your risk in some way.
Yeah. So what, tips would you want to give to, let's say, of course, this is still a very limited number of people who are in their 20s and have considerable wealth, but it is growing. And with the, with the growth of online and everything, the businesses that could be built online, it's just going to grow. So what would you suggest a 20-something? How should he or she approach succession planning and estate building and wealth in the long term?
See, I think someone at that age,
Right.
He should first enjoy his money.
Right.
I mean, he's worked hard, he's made it. He should enjoy it.
Right. Yeah.
Talking about passing on wealth is definitely inevitable.
Yeah.
But having a strong base. Okay, let's take an example. Why do we send our children to the best of education?
Because it's like
Because your foundation is strong. Once your foundation is strong, then after that, whatever amount of weight you put on it, it doesn't matter, you can manage.
Right.
So the same way, if you are suddenly into money, if you make a structure which is going to go generations, at the same time, I'm not saying pass it on. I'm saying use it. But have it in a framework which can be passed on without issues later. You don't need to then undo something. If you've done it right from day one, it becomes easier to build on it. So say, for example, you've got wealth on your name versus you set up a trust and you move your wealth into a trust.
Right.
In both cases, it is your wealth. But at least if it is in a trust, it is easier for you to hold it. It's simpler for you to travel. It's simpler for you to look at nationalities in the future if you wish to, because then your legacy is more intact. And in case of eventualities, it's already taken care of.
Right.
So whatever new buying you do, you buy it directly under the trust.
Right.
Because if you already procured real estate in your individual name, and tomorrow you want to move the real estate into a trust because you want to now start planning your succession, there's going to be stamp duty implications. Not for other movable assets, but specifically for real estate. But if you already bought the real estate from day zero in a trust, then you don't need to worry about transferring it later.
Yeah. Right.
If you are already created X amount of wealth and you just want to preserve it, the only right way to preserve it is by moving it into a trust. Because then now you're going to go into more aggressive mode of investments, more aggressive decisions. And it's good to have some amount of protection by ring-fencing what you've already prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is no right age to start planning your succession.
Okay.
But the earlier you do, the better it is.
Right. Understood. Okay, if you could kind of talk about one of the most difficult complexity in succession planning that you have faced, giving a broad outline of a case study, and how did you manage it?
Family is unique.
Right.
Sometimes the most simplest thing becomes very difficult because there is no consent within the family. So it could be a very simple thing to do, but because of there being the family is not being on the same page, things don't move.
Right.
All of them know that what is the right thing to do.
Right.
But all of them still don't agree to do it the right way or together.
Right.
So the biggest problem is ego. So getting the family to agree on certain things is one of the areas. And of course, then if the wealth is large, the number of family members are more, then it gets more and more complex. But if you actually have it ironed out clearly, you have it talked out with them, you have a rationale behind things, things do move. It may just take slightly longer, but things do move. So we've seen a lot of cases where there's umpteen number of cross-holding structures. So today people are preferring to have lesser companies.
Yeah.
But earlier, for no reason, you should just float a company, let this company hold that company. So there have been situations where one of the brothers running a business, but the business is owned by another brother. And over here, the other brother is running the business, but that business is then owned by the father.
Yeah.
So there's cross-holding. So am I the owner of the business because I'm running the business? Am I the owner of the business because I am the equity shareholder of the business?
Right.
Am I the owner of the business because I'm a part of the family? So a lot of clarity can be derived if you are open to talking, you're open to sitting together and getting into a consent, and then have ownership patterns clearly defined,
Right.
which makes things much more simpler
Right.
than someone owning, someone running.
Yeah. Yeah. Understood. And how common is that? Someone owning, someone else running.
It is common.
Okay. And how does how does your investment as an expert and your involvement as an expert become crucial to the succession planning? Could somehow the course be completely different if you weren't involved as an expert?
Vast knowledge that we carry,
Right.
the hands-on experience that we have had in the last 20 years doing
Right.
similar things repeatedly again and again.
Right. Right.
In my previous tenure, I've also got working with international markets.
Right.
So cross-border is again one of our strengths.
Right.
Domestically, of course, we are doing a lot of work. So there's a lot of hands-on experience that we bring on the table. There's a lot of tried and tested mechanisms that we've done in the last 20 years. And there, as time goes by, we are also growing, we are also learning, we are also improvising.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's for the betterment of the client. So there are a lot of times when we are talking to the client, a lot of times we are educating the client. But sometimes we are also learning from the client. So it's an ongoing process. And I wouldn't say that without me they cannot operate. But if we work together, probably we'll have better results.
Right, right. And would you say, let's compare succession planning, let's say 20 years ago to today, with
Very different.
so much has changed. So like
Very
a lot
different.
of...
Like when we started way back in 2005-06, we met the who's who at that time. 10 out of 10 said, beautiful, awesome, one should do it. No one did. Literally no one did. Today, we have a respectable conversion ratio of 60%.
Wow. Okay.
So 6 out of 10 people we meet are willing to move ahead. So that's the switch that we have seen over a period of time.
Right.
And that's a very positive way we look at it.
Right, right. Say, how would you compare an HNI from a metropolitan city to that of from a tier 2 or tier 2 town? Are there differences in approach when it comes to wealth management and, trusteeship?
Yeah, there is, because of the level of exposure.
Right.
So any new fashion comes usually in the metros first.
Yeah.
And then it
Seeps into
so the tier 2 and tier 3, we're doing a lot of work in the metros, but we equally doing same amount of work in tier 2 and tier 3 cities because they themselves have substantial wealth.
Right.
If you look at the large listed companies, not many are based out of Bombay. They are in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. If you look at business houses, a few, of course, are from the metros, but a lot of them are from the tier 2, tier 3 cities. And they are now also looking for solutions. They are now also wanting to do things which are generally treated as right in the true sense. So they are very much open to ideas. They are very much open for suggestions. And we've seen a lot of traction and a lot of willingness in those regions also.
Understood. Do you see like the acceptance of, let's say, your strategies more in smaller town because they have lesser exposure?
I think it is there across.
Okay.
Because sometimes having less exposure also makes you extra cautious. The needs are high on both ends. The acceptance is not because you're from a smaller town or from a metro. The acceptance is similar because it's emotions. It's families, it's family legacy. It is something that sometimes you hesitate to say something because you don't want to hurt somebody.
Right.
So those emotions don't change because you're from a metro or from a non-metro or a smaller town. Those are emotions.
Right.
Because we're all humans. And I think so far we've been pretty good in terms of our outreach, in terms of creating more awareness, spreading the right um mechanics or the right interpretation of law.
Got it. Understood. And what would be, something that you'd want for every HNI to keep in mind when they are, considering succession planning?
So I think what's important is to have clarity on your end goal. So most of the time we are looking at planning a succession for our children. Sometimes we're looking at planning a succession keeping grandchildren in mind.
Yes.
That how the ultimate beneficial owners will be the grandchildren, how the legacy will go to that level. So all those things are something that we need to look into consideration, that at what level do we want to draw the line? To what extent of planning we want to do? Should we do it at the children's level? Should we do it at the grandchildren's level? Should we park certain corpus for education? Should we park certain corpus for marriage? Should we park certain corpus for eventualities and something that doesn't go planned? In those situations, how the family will be looked after. So it's a lot of contribution from the families, from the wealth experts, from the family heads.
Got it.
And all combination put together is what would be a true output of your succession planning.
What are the biggest risks that are, that come with the job in terms of the financial and legal planning that is required?
So I don't say there's a risk involved, but there's certain amount of accountability.
Okay.
Striving to give the client the best advice, the most realistic, because you're representing a family versus a family. You're either arbitrating, you're either collaborating, you're either deciding on behalf of someone. So trying to give them the best unbiased advice, trying to get them the best knowledge sharing or the best information or the best tools available is what we always work towards.
Right.
So I wouldn't say there's a risk or a financial liability or anything of that kind.
Okay.
But for us, the accountability becomes very, very important.
Okay.
Because we are guiding somebody. So we would like to give the best options available to the client, the best knowledge, the best tools available at that point of time.
Understood. So for all our viewers and listeners, what would you say are the biggest takeaways that they should definitely keep in mind while considering their legacy businesses or even the new age businesses?
One is start planning. You have it in mind, you know you need to do it, but it's an idea is of no good if it's not implemented.
Right.
So you start planning towards it. Have a long-term vision. Be open to change, and it is something that will evolve. And with time, we can keep improvising whatever you made, whether it's a will, whether it's a trust, whatever it is. But at least you start moving in that direction. And then, as assets change, dynamics change, family requirements change, these are evolving structures, and they can keep evolving over a period of time.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming today and sparing the time and sharing with us how crucial and pertinent it is to start planning early and planning wisely. Thank you so much to the viewers who have tuned in today. I hope this was an insightful conversation for you all. We'll keep bringing you such insightful and, invigorating conversations across industries in India. Stay tuned.